Well, welcome to those that just signed in. We got a couple more minutes and we get rolling on week number 4 and the final week for at least the live sessions for the Digital Agency Masterclass 3.0. So hope you're excited. I'm excited. We'll get rolling here in just a couple of minutes and, people are starting to log on. Still got a few more people we're waiting on, but we'll get rolling very shortly. Hang tight. All right, I have 2 o'clock on the dot Eastern time, so we will get rolling with week number 4 and our final week for our live sessions, at least. And hopefully, most of you took advantage of the break week I had last week. I've done that probably our last 3 live classes, and it's really helped because what I found how we used to do it was, 4 weeks, 4 straight weeks. And people just, sometimes that's a lot of information in a short amount of time. People were feeling behind and rushed. And, so we started doing that break week. And I don't ever factor it in because I'm never 100% sure. But that was just kind of the feeling I got. It would be a good idea for this one. So that's why we did it. But we are here for week number 4. And someone just messaged me the audio cut out, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I did an audio test a little bit ago and people said they could hear me. So hopefully that's the case. Just let me put a message in. All right. All right. So let's get rolling with week number 4. So I don't have, I got quite a few slides, but not a ton. But we are going to be jumping kind of back and forth because today we're going to do the, there it is. All right, wrapping up and keeping it rolling. But remember too, today we're going to introduce that 60-day integration marketing plan. All right. And so we're going to be jumping kind of back and forth on there, just so you can see it. And of course, the calendar, the plan itself is going to be uploaded in the resource section. All right, so kind of what we're going to do today, and I'll explain each as we go through them. We're going to check in with our action plans, the action plan I've given you guys every single week, figure out a couple things on directions, how we're going to build continued success. We're going to talk a little bit about budgeting. I know we've talked about it on individual things here and there, but we are going to kind of dive into that a little bit. And then our plan going forward. And then, like I said, we're going to check out the marketing calendar. And there are some things within that calendar. That's why I've kind of buffered some time. So when you're looking at it, you don't have questions on what's he talking about? What do I do? So we're going to jump on that too. And I think we're probably going to do that we'll see. I think right before the budgeting part is where I probably want either that or the plan going forward. So we'll see how it works out. But let's get rolling. Now, a couple of things, and you might have already seen this, but if you haven't, I added this morning, I'm putting Facebook ad copy so you can see. Now, you probably have seen some emails from me, right? Where the Facebook ads, I'm really leery, although I will say this. I had a good video conference with the owner of one of the top Facebook ad agencies called Zen Fusion today. He made me feel a little bit better about Facebook ads. And we're going to actually be collaborating on some stuff mid-June, so look out for that. And he did. He made me feel really good, show me how insurance agents can still get some pretty darn good results, but it's just not in the traditional way. I would share that with you, but I'm still getting it from him, right? Because let's face it, I'm spread, all over the place when it comes to insurance. This guy, Mitch, he just focuses. So his job is Facebook advertising. So like I always do, when it's something like that, somebody spends full-time efforts on a weekly basis, I'm going to get the info from them because they're the experts and then share it with you. But he made me feel a lot better about it. So I did decide to keep that in. But anyway, those resources are already in there. You should already see email templates, and there's a ton in there for that. And we added some other quick hit stuff. And then after this, I will be loading in the digital marketing calendar. All right. So that's all going to be in the so all these are in there except for the calendar, which is already made up. I just got to, of course, that's lifetime, right? We do the classes over 4 weeks, but I get life is busy and you might not be able to get everything absorbed and done within 4 weeks. You got that forever. And so, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people have already started booking their calls with me, which is really awesome. I was totally fine and like the fact that you guys kind of held off so you could get it under your belt a little bit better. So that was good. But go ahead. Don't forget, you can schedule the call. The calls are good for 12 months. So yeah, there is no rush. You don't have to, get all 4 of your calls in within the next 2 weeks. I mean, you can if you want to, but it's one thing. I want you to find that balance of take your time to do it right, but don't procrastinate. And I know that can be a hard balance to find, but I hope that makes sense. Don't rush it and make it bad, but I don't want you to sit on it till August either. All right. So just find that nice little balance for yourself. And I think you'll see that this stuff being put together, as some agents already have been doing, booking their calls week in, week out, it's already been happening. Right. So just wanted to go into that. And I don't need responses publicly. I want you answer these for yourself. And for me, I would encourage you to write the answers down somewhere so you can see it. All right. And just be honest. But really at this point, I get that you shouldn't have everything done. I know that. But you should have at least started some execution on some of the things that we have on the action plans. All right. So what I want you to answer is, with what you've tried to execute or gone through on your action plan right now, do you feel you've been spending the appropriate amount of time on execution? Right. And I didn't ask for a lot of time, usually an hour to 2 hours each week. Right. And I don't mean you need to spend that each week, but per each plan. Let's see. Mark can't hear anything. All right, Mark, hit reconnect. Obviously, you can't hear me say that. All right, so hopefully you've been spending the appropriate amount of time that I've been asking for. Like I said, I don't need you to spend 10 hours a week on this stuff. You don't need to do that. I know you don't have the time for it. That's the whole point. But at least a little bit, okay? And if you have done something, all right, I want you to just see, what positives have you gotten from it? All right, and that could be sales, that could be engagement, and maybe a positive for you is you learned something new and were able to fully grasp it. Right? There's a lot of different positives. Obviously, the end goal is sales, right? But even if you're not at that stage yet, what positives have you seen from the things already being implemented? Okay. And now, are you comfortable with each week? We almost had like an overall objective. Are you comfortable with not everything? I know you're not comfortable probably yet with all the things we've talked about, but do you get it, right? Do you get what the overall high level accomplishments we're trying to reach for? Are you comfortable? Are you get it? Because if not, I need to know that, because we need to have a conversation about it. Like if you're still at this point thinking, well, I don't see how this ties together, I don't see how this is going to generate leads, we need to have a serious conversation, because then I missed something in the connections. All right. And so that's on me, not on you, but I need to know that. All right. And always when you have a coaching call, and for those of you that have already had calls with me in the past, I'm an honest person, and I want you to be honest with me. If we get on a call and say, Joe, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get how it works, or how this is going to be, beneficial, or how we need to talk, because I need to connect that for you. All right. Now, basically, I'm hoping at least that you've been doing it week by week. All right. And so we need to know, what's the next thing you're going to start implementing? Maybe you already started the social selling. All right. So what's next? The one thing I don't want to have happen, and this is super important, I do not want you to go ahead and say, all right, I get the social media thing down. I get the social selling. I got that. And just sit on that. Always have the next thing. And I'm not asking you to put a timetable on it. Like, I'm not saying that you should say, all right, every 3 weeks I need to start something new. Whatever you're comfortable with, but I want you to always have that next thing ready to go. All right. Because what I want everybody to be doing is everything we've talked about in all 4 weeks, right? In the past 3 and today. Like, that needs to be the plan. Okay. All right. Have you figured out your direction? So by now, if you've tried even a few things, right? Not everything, you should know what your strengths are. All right. So I want you don't have to put it publicly, but I want you to put on paper from what you've tried so far. What do you feel your number one strength that you found is? Right. And I want to talk about that with you, right? I want to know your strength. If you say, Joe, I got this video thing down. I love it. I think I'm really good at it. Tell me that. But obviously, I'm going to ask the weakness too. What do you think you could be better at? Because here's why I do that for 2 reasons. The obvious, hey, okay, that's your strength. Here's how we grow that. And that's your weakness. Here's how we're going to help that. But here's the funny thing that happens. A lot of the times when people bring out weaknesses and they show me examples, it's actually not that weak, right? So I want you to tell me that stuff. Right. And it could be your first call. I know we're doing this on week 4. It could be your very first call with me. That's fine. That's fine. I want to more importantly know your weakness, not just to try to help you with it, but a lot of the times we are harder on ourselves than anybody else. So our weakness might not be that weak. All right. So I want you to let me know that. All right. And then if somebody's helping you execute these things, go ahead and go through that with them as well. A few of you have somebody either partnering with you in your agency on this stuff or doing it completely, right? So you got to go over that with them too, not just me. And we talked about this a little bit, but I'm bringing it up again because I'm not seeing people do it, all right? Or it's one of those things where I almost feel we talked about it way back in week 1, right? We talked a lot about groups, all right? So I haven't seen a lot of people create or even, talk to anybody about social media groups. So we want to start, doing that. And also one thing, sorry, I'm trying to work on, somebody's having an audio issue. Hold on. Locally, not with other insurance agents, but with other business owners. All right. Growth tips, business advice, etc. But when you create it, you're in control. And it's not just good for networking, it's good for idea generation. All right. Once again, on the groups, post once a day, ask the open-ended questions. All right. Get a conversation started. And then link-wise, as far as in the group itself, in the conversation, not as posts. Remember, we talked about that. Go ahead and put links, things like that for your online presence. The biggest thing, the only reason I'm bringing this back up, everybody, is that really nobody has done this yet. All right. And and I understand the fact that this is more of a long-term payoff. I get it. But here's the thing with long-term payoffs. They never pay off if you don't do it. Okay. So that's the only reason I'm bringing that back up here. All right. Now let's talk a little bit. I'm trying to think of where I want to, we'll bring in the calendar in a minute. All right. Sorry. I don't know why these PowerPoints got all screwed up. All right. So what do you do? This is big. So after this is done, we got to keep it rolling because we're not going to have these live classes every single week now. All right. So constant reevaluation. What I recommend is every 60 days, do a check-in with yourself on your digital presence. All right. Every 2 months, that's pretty good. 60 days is good. 45 you can get away with. I wouldn't do any earlier than that, right? Because what happens is if we try to reevaluate ourselves too much, we change things that don't need to be changed, right? But I would say a good one every 60 days is good to check in, see where it's at, see where your numbers are at, and try to figure out if you need to fix things, adjust things. And here's the reality. I don't care how great information is, that I've given you or somebody else has given you. If something doesn't work after 2 months, drop it or drastically change it, right? I might give you the best idea in the world, but here's the deal. Results rule, right? So if it's not working, we got to figure out a way to reevaluate and change it or drop it. All right. And of course, review what's worked and what hasn't. Find something you've tried, that worked really well. How do you scale that? Right? So, and that's going to kind of play most likely, and it usually does, into whatever your strengths are. Right? So once again, if you think the live video, you're really good at it. All right, that's great that you're good at it. Now, how do we scale that? Always think about a way to grow and scale those strengths. All right. And then once again, I just kind of mentioned this, but if you had something that really bombed, fix it or decide to drop it. Now, here's something that's important. This is, if I were to say, this is our third session of this class, the same schedule after this class for working on your digital presence, right? So if you had me blocked out on these classes at 2:00, keep it the same if you have to. All right. And then ABL, always be learning. I think I mentioned this before, but anytime you see a good ad on Facebook, whether it has to do with insurance or not, copy it. Right? As far as, either write it down or take a picture of it. Yeah, something new that looks good, take 10 minutes, research it a little bit. All right. It might be either for you or it might be something. Don't reinvent the wheel, right? Turn it into your own. That's why I always keep junk emails. I read through, every single one. And I always read through and keep junk mail that's mailed to me. Because there's always, not always, but a lot of the times, there's some form of a marketing idea that I can get off of that. All right. So don't just ignore junk email. Right. I know we're busy and it's like, oh, delete. But even if it's something that you're not going to purchase, take a look at it. Right. Because if somebody's doing it, it's working for some reason. And just think, how can I incorporate that? Right. All right. So, yeah, we're going to get to the calendar after this. Let's do budgeting real quick. Think about it. If any, how much current expenses have you spent on your digital presence thus far? Right. Now, remember, whatever that number is, I have people that, they want to scale. So they think, boom, drastic, let's go, but go modest. Right. So if you are like, okay, I've spent $50 in a month, don't go to $5,000 the next month. Right. Increments. Okay. I would say, I would say maybe 50%, unless you're spending a lot, but I don't think anybody here is like all of a sudden just start out going $1,000 a month. Right. So just little increments, right? Because the last thing you want to do is try to scale something that big in one shot. Like say Facebook ads, for instance, you're going, maybe you were at $20 a day and then all of a sudden you decide to increase that to 300. All right. Well, the Facebook algorithm is going to hurt that. All right. And so you're going to waste some money. So just modest increase. And if you're really stuck on the budget part of what you should be spending where, okay, let me know. And by budget, I don't just mean paid ads. All right. I know I say that here, but also, the other, like, did you sign up for ClickFunnels like I asked you to? Did you look at some other email marketing of some sort? All right. And the other thing, have a marketing campaign spreadsheet. And go ahead and look at those results and keep that ROI in front of you. All right. One of the biggest reasons we blow money is we don't have a trackable sheet for ROI. Now, one thing I didn't put on here, but I will, is I have my marketing campaign for my agency. So I'll put that on there. And it's actually nice. It has formulas set up. So it does the math for you. And so I'll put it out under the resource section. So you guys have that, but feel free to make your own or copy off it, whatever you want to do. Okay. Once again, I know I just said it, but I'll hammer it again. Results rule. Doesn't matter how much money is spent on something. If it's not working, drop it or drastically change it. Okay. All right. So we're going to do going forward, but before I get into that, let me pull up, give me a second. I just want to pull it up here. So this, what I'm going to show you, you're going to see the screen go blank for a second. This, what I'm about to show you will be on the site. And I apologize. Sometimes when I do this type of screen share, it's super small on your end. So if that's the case, I really apologize. Let me try to zoom it up a little bit. Come on. All right. There we go. Let me see if that gets to be too big. Hold on. Yeah, a little bit. Let me bring it back a second. right. Yeah, there's no real good in between. All right. So I know this might be it might be hard to read, but I'm going to put it on there so you'll be able to have it and it'll be much better. So I did June and July. And here's why I started June, because I'm going to guess from just talking to everybody, there's some stuff for you to do still. All right. Because it's May 9th. Now, feel free to start this before June 1st. I just figured that would be easier in this case. All right. So if you look every month, the beginning of the month, we need to schedule our Facebook posts. All right. So the big campaign I want you to start with is the referral campaign. All right. And so basically I have the template in there, so you just got to customize it for yourself. But we want to start with the referral campaign. Now with the referral drawing campaign, it's per quarter or 60 days. I guess I'll leave that up to you. Remember, we want a $250 drawing format is what we're doing. All right. So not only do we want to work on the emails, but we want to remember I talked about article and blog posts. We want to do something with either a landing page or a page on your website or a funnel page. And if you want a funnel page, let me know. I can help you with that. But here's the deal. The last thing you want to do on our referral campaigns, and this is in the email, this is on the article, blogs, whatever. The last thing you want to do is simply send them to your website or your Facebook page. Okay, because there's only one goal, right? There's only one goal of this campaign. It's to get a referral. So if we're sending them somewhere where they're bouncing around and they have to find out trust me, if it takes them more than 4 seconds to realize what they're going to do, they're not going to do it. So that's, once again, what we talked about in week 3, why funnels are so effective is it's a singular purpose. So that's what we want for these referral campaigns is wherever it is, it just needs to be a singular purpose. They go, they click, and it's like, boom, they're put in your information, put in your referral information. Here's what you're going to enter into, blah, 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 done. All right. So I have that. So we got the 3 referral emails. All right. Now notice, and I talked about this with email marketing, but I'll say it again, 2 to 3 emails a week. I know some of you might say, I don't want to start with 3. That's fine. I don't blame you. All right. But we want at least 1 to 2 a week. All right. Never email on a Monday. Never email on a Monday. Tuesdays are your best days. You'll get, as long as it's not Monday, you'll still get results from the other ones. But don't do Monday. Okay. All right. Now, if you look on Thursday, so what you want to do, and some of you have already done this with some success, but if you haven't already, is on your Facebook business page, as you probably already know, there's a simple, you can do create an ad right off that business page to get more people to like it. Just remember, when you do that, exclude those who already like the page. All right. You would think it would do that for you automatically, but it doesn't. So make sure you're excluding people that already like your page. All right. And you're just going to target your area. All right. And now a great thing to do is if you have in your insights tab under your business page, if you see a post or video or something you put out there that had really great engagement, you can boost that. That'll help. All right. Now you'll look under Friday. Not only do we have, the plan, like, the first Friday, I'm saying, do the Facebook live video for the drawing, promoting the referral, but also a Friday powwow. So this was something and you don't have to call it this, but I did in my agency every Friday in the morning for only 15 minutes. We did a powwow. Now I understand this isn't necessarily tied to being digital, but all this was keeping everybody in the loop. I highly recommend. In fact, a lot of people that I've talked to, they don't even run an agency meeting once a month. You need to do that if you have any sort of a team. Even if it's you and one other person, you need to meet, right? And have a quick agenda, not a long meeting, 15 minutes. Some of it, you can do something different. That's fine. But I suggest looking at renewal reviews. All right. So I put that renewal report card in the documents in the resource center. That's a great thing. Or do it however you want. But here's the deal. We're getting into summer, right? And summer is the dead months as far as walk-in call-ins go, historically for most. Maybe not everybody, but historically it is. So the biggest thing I want you to make sure to do, which is why this is going to work out really well, is you need outbound activity, right? People aren't just going to be walking in, they're on vacation, etc. So you need outbound activity. And so that's why it's super important that, even if you're not going to do all of this, really seriously consider doing most of it. All right. Notice on the 12th, I have another Facebook Live about the referral contest, right? Because this is going to be either 2 or 3 months, up to you, but we're going to keep plugging it over and over. All right. Once a month, you should always run a birthday audit. All right. So this one, I say in June, run it for July. And that's going to be for life insurance campaign. And if you can do if your company offers a postcard drop, combine those two. And a lot of times they'll do it automatically for you at a really cheap rate. All right. The 14th, I got the second renewal review email. And in that sequence, I put in parentheses here, only 2 emails in these campaigns, no more than that. All right. And then the 15th, notice I did this 2 weeks after you started it because we want to keep boosting, right? Because we're not sending any referral emails out this week. So I want you to do a super cheap, for 1 to 3 days, $10 boost on your referral campaign video, assuming you did what I asked you to do before and did the Facebook Live. Okay. All right. And then you can do the prospect emails the next week. If you look down, prospect email campaigns. And we have that whole sequence lined up for you already in documents. All right. And then I ask you on the 19th to go ahead and remember, we talked about linked helper in week 1. If you don't remember that or whatever, let me know. But we need to do some auto connecting because 2 days later, we're going to send a message out about your referral campaign to your LinkedIn audience. All right. And then, you see prospect email 2 and 3, and then life email 2. So we have a referral plan for 2 months, referral campaign. So we're just going to constantly send referral emails out every 3 days, right? That's not what we're doing. You see how it's working together. We're doing the email marketing, right? We're doing the funnel links, hopefully, our landing page, website, whatever you end up doing. Okay. We're also doing live videos. We're doing LinkedIn. We're putting it together. All right. And so this very first month, I tell you, first of all, I can almost guarantee if you haven't done anything yet and you're just starting out, you're going to miss some things in here, which is okay. That's expected because I'm asking a lot of you. I get that. So catch-up week, whatever you didn't get to earlier, you can start sending out in this catch-up week here. All right. Now, July's not as detailed just because I needed to explain some things the first time through. All right. So, but once again, let me, this didn't switch for you. Hold on. I'm going to share the July one. And both of these are going to be on the resource site or the membership site under resources. Sorry. All right. Once again, schedule a Facebook post for the month. Now you see the first is on a Sunday. So if you want to do it even at the end of June, go ahead. All right. And then I'm not going to go through every space because I already went through some of them, but look at here. Facebook Live Tuesday training, do like a summer toy safety, right? And then maybe it's almost a month later, we're going to send those referral emails again, right? Don't forget, we got a holiday. Anytime there's a holiday of some sort, 4th of July, and I didn't have enough room, but Memorial Day's, coming up. We didn't do May, but, that's a good thing to get out there. All right, we're doing the referral email again. And then the next set of reviews, right, for renewals email, maybe that report card. If you like the report card, some do, some don't. But it's a nice place to start or a good idea to at least try to make your own thing off of. All right, do another Facebook Live. See, we're not just doing one live. We're going to keep doing these. As much as you want, do them. A quick Facebook Live video about an update on your referral contest, you can do that anytime. I encourage it. All right. And then notice I'm just going to try to hit the things I didn't hit the first month. So see right here, run a boost ad from the previous Tuesday training. All right. Once again, now for those, when you're just doing a boost like that for content purposes, go ahead and you can boost it. Don't exclude your current people. All right. Hit it to everybody. And then I'm asking you again, once a month, this is the type of stuff, do an auto connect on LinkedIn. All right. And then the 13th, Friday the 13th, I start talking about a testimonial or review campaign. And that's for you to get reviews, testimonials on social media, website, anywhere you have people to leave information. What I recommend is doing a $50 gift card drawing. And basically all that happens is everybody that leaves us a 5-star review, you'll get entered into our drawing for a $50 gift card to wherever, to be held. You got, I would say 30 days, 30, 45 days, leave it up to you. But you'll get reviews on there. So for every 5-star review we get, you'll be entered in to win a $50 gift card to Best Buy, Target, Amazon, whatever. If some agents do Costco, works really well if you have Costco buy. All right. And then we're also going to send an email out on testimonials, right? And that once again is going to have a link. Facebook's a great place to do it. All you need to do is capture the link to your review spot and put that in there, leave us a review here. All right. And then do a Facebook Live about the testimonial review contest. All right. And then notice here, I do a LinkedIn message, not about the testimonials, but we're still kind of getting that referral drawing out there. We can't, because what happens is if we completely stop plugging it all together and it's over 3, they're just going to die down. Right. So we want to keep that out there and as many videos as we can. All right. And then our second testimonial email. All right. And then once again, I say run the birthday audit for any life emails or postcards. All right. And then do, another Tuesday training twice a month. That'd be good to do a Tuesday training, whatever you want to do. Difference between the whole life and term, or if you have a promotion going on, whatever. Tuesday training, remember 10 minutes of a subject that's interesting to people. All right. Now, after you got some reviews in, or even if you already have some, post them, right? And simple posts like, hey, do you feel like Sheila does? And put in quote Sheila's review. All right. She's been entered into our $50 gift card drawing. If you want to get entered, here's all you got to do. Okay. And I did put a couple of days for catch up, but not a whole week this time. All right. Life email 2. And then another Facebook Live. And then now see how we're recycling. Every 2 weeks, we're recycling that referral email. 2 to 3 weeks. All right. Because we want to keep that going. All right. Now, once again, adjust this however you want to. All right. But this is how I put it together. All right. So, hey, if you can follow this right on, I think that'd be ideal, but I know it's a lot, especially starting out. You'll get your groove once you start doing it. And once you and I start talking one-on-one, start developing your own plan, right? It'll start coming together for you. All right. All right. Let me go back. Give me a second. Where'd my slide go? There we go. All right. All right. So once again, I already mentioned this. You're going to have lifetime access to all the materials, so keep going back to them. And remember, a lot of you got, some form of bonus, free coaching calls. But even after that, if you need help, I'm here. All right. I'll never leave somebody without help. All right. Once again, whenever you get any type of copy, and by copy, I mean marketing content, or see an ad that sticks out, check it out, take a picture of it. This is where my ideas come from. It's that simple. I very, very rarely reinvent the wheel. Very rarely. All right. And lastly, don't let it all crumble. Remember what I said, the agents that have no success or little success, they're the ones that just stop doing it. All right. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. If you ever get really overwhelmed or, life happens if something comes up, right? The last thing I want you to do is say, I don't have time for it. Just go back to basics. I still do that sometimes. I have to go back to basics and just focus on one thing. I'd rather have you focus on one thing than let it all go because you're trying to do 5 at once. All right. Give me a second. What overall broad questions do we have? Right. This week is really going to be individualized, right? I could see a couple of phone calls for week number 4. But as far as right now, do we have questions on the implementation, putting it all together? I'll give it just a second. All right. I'm not seeing any come in. Now, somebody told me they tried to schedule a call with me. We got it figured out, but they tried to schedule a call with me via the membership and the link didn't work. If for some reason that happens, guys, hopefully you all have my email address. Just email me. And if that link's not working, we'll set up a time. All right. All right. Well, everybody here, nobody has exhausted all their coaching calls yet. So I'm not going to say, hey, it was great being here with you, because I'm going to talk to all of you at some point already in the future. So, but I hope you enjoyed the live sessions. All right. I hope you got some good stuff out of it. But hey, the calls is really where the work begins and where the rubber meets the road. So, I hopefully you've been implementing some throughout the weeks, but if you're not, that's all right. We're going to start doing that, but you got to call. You have to book a call. Like this stuff, that's how it all works. Right. If this is one of those things where, I'd say, hey, here's your information. Good luck. Have a good life. I still wouldn't be in business today. right? So you got to book your calls. So email me if that link doesn't work on the membership site. Other than that, that's all I got for week 4, guys. I will upload the video as soon as possible today or tonight, depending on how quick it releases to me. But email me, let me know when's a good time for a call, and we will talk soon. Talk to you later. Bye.